Hi everyone, welcome to our Chat and Vibe series. And today we've got the beautiful Renee Giarrusso, who's the founder and director of RG Dynamics. Hi Renee, how are you?
I'm good, Tanya. How are you going?
I'm good. We're so excited to have Renee, who's one of our presenters at the upcoming Vitality Festival, which is starting on the 31st of October. And we're so happy to get to know you a little bit better today. Renee, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's brought you to this time and space today?
Yeah, great question, Tanya. So I've just always loved people. I'm a connector. I love seeing what makes people tick and connecting and collaborating. And I guess over the years and in my corporate background, that was the favourite part of my role was seeing people, I guess, and helping them realise and achieve what's possible. And, 14 years later, I've been running RG Dynamics and really just love working with, leaders, teams and businesses to energise mindset and accelerate communication and leadership to lift their success and their performance in and out of the workplace.
That's amazing. And so do you find most of this has got to do with mindset?
Yeah, a lot of it does. I think mindset I always use a sort of analogy. It's like the foundation of a house. If you get that right and you work on that and it is a muscle ongoing, whatever else you do and bring on will have a much more solid foundation. And, as you know, your mindset's, it's your thoughts and your thoughts create your feelings and therefore what you action or don't action. So it's pretty powerful.
Yeah. I always like the saying, where thought goes, energy flows.
Yeah. Really love that.
And tell me, I know a lot of people at the moment are sort of struggling with the mindset. They've got the fears of everything that's going on, plus all the other roadblocks that they're being faced with at the moment. So for people who are not feeling great, is there a chance for them to turn their mindset around and move into a positive mindset?
Yeah, there is. And the beautiful thing about that is it's a choice we all have. It doesn't matter who you are. Not always easier said than done, as we know. And some, mindset habits and thoughts are hard to break. But a key one that I've used right through the pandemic and through my life and with clients is a reframe. So really focusing on what you can do. And that really opens up possibility and reframing simple things. I had someone the other day saying to me, Renee, this whole strategy piece is really hard. And I said, have you ever done it at this level before? And they said, no. And I said, well, it's not hard because you haven't done it. How do you know that? It's unfamiliar. And as soon as you change your language is very powerful. You really invite in possibility and options and new ways of thinking and being.
I love that. Love that. And so tell me, even through these last few months when we're all being isolated and restricted in so many different ways, have you found it's your habits and your mindset that's really helped you to sort of get through?
Yeah, totally. I mean, habits are our routines and rituals we do at a subconscious level. And a lot of people, don't realise that your thinking and your mindset is actually a habit. So what you feed and what you sow is what you'll reap. So definitely, Tanya, mindset is a big one. And I think the key is really being aware. Self-awareness is everything. And just taking that, doesn't have to be hours, that minute to self-reflect and say, how was I thinking about that? How could I flip that story or flip that script, as I say, to be more empowered, to serve myself, to serve others? Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. And so what is maybe one or two of the habits that you've used during this time to sort of keep you focused and energized and still so positive and strong?
Yeah, working from home as we film this for 7 months, going from being with hundreds of people a week face to face, it's been huge. But one of the key habits I have is I call them bookends. They're bookend habits. I think we should all have a habit in the morning and a habit at night that we really, we're really disciplined about. One for me is I go out I make a coffee in the morning and I go out my front door and I go for a 10-15 minute walk and I come back in the front door and then into my office, and I do the same at the end of a day. And I call that my bookend habit. what it does is it sets boundaries around the space I'm working in. And it's, even if I do work later at night, it's a cut off from the normal sort of work day. So that's been a good one. And another one, you know, is really just to get a bit of exercise in. We can all fill our days. You know, I'm guilty of that more than anyone. So something that's helped me is getting that walk in the morning and jealously protecting that time. It's even blocked out in my diary, because I think we make time for everyone else. We never ever cancel on anyone else. But how easily do we stop ourselves from doing self-care? And, you know, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you know that. So, yeah.
And I think it's really important that people prioritise themselves at the moment, and especially the frontliners who are always putting everybody else first.
That's
I think
right.
for any of us, even if we're, you know, just stay-at-home mums or whatever it might be, I think people really need to put themselves, like you said, fill up their own cup first, then they've got more to give everybody else.
That's right. And look, it's especially, I think, a lot of, and I do a lot of work with the front line, you know, they're givers, as I know you are and I are, and it's easy to just give. But, you know, you've got to show up and you've got to have energy, and obviously it's mind, body and spirit. It's not just all about our logical thinking, and people can see through when you're burnt out. And I think you can't be the best version of yourself unless you're, I say, being an energetic leader, leading yourself with energy, your true energy. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for that. And
Yeah.
one other question I want to ask you is about boundaries, because, you know, you just talked about having the bookends at the day. And I think for a lot of people who are working at home, and I know I'm one of these people, I'm getting to my desk earlier, I'm leaving my desk later.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you have certain things that happen through the day. Sometimes they're positive and sometimes not as positive. And then, you know, having some sort of practice which then sort of says, okay, I've finished work now and I'm going to now integrate with family. And whether it's stay home or it's these frontliners coming in from the outside, I think that's so, so important for everybody at the moment.
It is. And I think sharing your boundaries, I always say in life, we contribute to our workspace, our work team, our home team, our community and ourselves. And I think especially, you know, working from home, and like you said, we're working more intense hours. We're way more productive because we don't have the commute time, but it can also stifle connection, especially with yourself when you're doing these big hours. So setting boundaries, letting other people know. So if my husband's working from home when I am, I will say to him, I've got this 20-minute gap, and he knows what I'm like. I'd keep going, and I might knock on the office door and drag me outside for a walk. So it's even just having that shared accountability with those you love. If you're back in an office in a hybrid environment, and especially those on the front line, it's easy not to take your breaks because you want to be in service to everybody. But look at what that could cost you long term, and step back and do something for you. Yeah. Yeah.
That's really important, is just pace ourselves. You know, everybody's got a different you know, stream in terms of which they operate at. Some people go really fast and some people a little bit slower. But I think, you know, in the beginning we had the first lockdown, we thought it was a short time, and now it's been a bit longer. And I think for all of us, in terms of, you know, what you were talking about with self-care and boundaries and prioritising ourselves, we need to sort of pace ourselves to make sure that we're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, it's a nice segue on the topic that I'm super excited to be sharing with everyone soon in the festival. And, you know, reviewing habits to re-energize and refocus is what is something we do in a lot of our programs with people from all walks of life. And I think it's reviewing what those habits are and looking at what no longer serves me, I need to let go of, what I can let be, and what do I need to let in that's new. So don't stick to the hard and fast, this is how I work from home. Review it. We can get out a bit more now, and we had a chat before. If you can get out and meet a colleague or a friend at the park for an hour, when and if you can, do that. So it's integrating the new habits, breaking the old, and making sure that you don't look at self-reflective time as indulgent. A lot of people in a lot of workplaces do. A lot of workplaces are very performance and transaction focused with their culture. And I'm a big believer that the more that we can step back in and out of work and lead with our whole selves, not be different at work or at home, the better we'll be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's great advice, and particularly with changing times, there are some of the habits that we had before which don't serve us anymore. They're outdated and outmoded, and we actually do need to let them go. So is that something in your talk that you'll be discussing a little bit, is how to form these habits to support the person you want to be?
Yeah, spot on. So during the talk, we'll talk about what makes up a habit, because like anything, we need to understand the process. And I'll be talking about triggers, what people, times or locations make you do whatever you do, and how to then say what's good, what's not so great that I need to let go of. And then replace that or create, a better type of habit. We'll also talk about the 8 key levels or the 8 key areas of leading self. We're all leaders of our lives. We're all leaders of self. So we'll look at exploring those and breaking down a few of those in a bit more detail and sharing as an interactive group, which is so exciting, how we do those. And, I've got some tips, but the magic of these sort of shared webinars, I guess, Tanya, is the richness of what everyone brings. That's what I'm super excited about.
It's great, I think, sometimes for other people to hear where other people are at. In similar circumstances, because a lot of people at the moment who are thinking in one shape or another, they kind of feeling overwhelmed, and that some of them are thinking it's just me. Because I think sometimes when you join into a webinar or a festival like we're offering, you'll see there are a lot of people who are in the same place. And
that's such a key point. You're not alone. Even knowing that and having, people that you can reach out to and check in with and keep each other accountable, so to speak, really opens up, I think, the motivation to create better habits. But you're right, I don't think there's anyone, as much as there's been some amazing things come through this whole pandemic, I'm not going to paint a perfect golden paintbrush. There's been, there's shocking stuff happen as well. But I think at the end of the day, I love that's why I wanted to be involved with this festival, because it's giving back to the people that give back.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. And so you are a coach and you're also a mentor. You're an educator and a speaker, but one of the things you also are is an author.
Yes.
And you've already written a couple of books, and I know that you're just about to release another book. Are you able to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm a bit excited. So that's been one of the gifts to me in the pandemic, is, I guess, being locked in at home on the weekends. So I've written the book over 4 to 5 months of weekends on a concept called the gift mindset, which is a concept I've sort of been playing with for about 2 years. So really excited. It's coming out early 2021. Can't believe I sound so futuristic. And it's basically the gift mindset, unwrap the 12 gifts to lead and live a life on purpose, connection and contribution. So it's all about, Tanya, looking at the challenges and the adversity we face, and also the successes we have, and stopping and reflecting on what are the key lessons, what were the gifts in those things or those experiences or people that I can share with others. So it's all about creating what we're calling the gift mindset culture within the workplace. But the book, I've written the book for you. I've written the book for anybody that wants to seek growth and tap into the amazing experiences, good or bad, they've been through, and how they can use that for a survival guide for other people.
Wow, you've got some incredible information and wisdom to share with everyone, and we'd love for everybody to see Renee. You just need to join up to the Vitality Festival. Put the link below so you can click on. It's free. It's 9 days. We've got 70 amazing world-class speakers all talking about health and well-being, and Renee, of course, is one of them. Thank you so much, Renee, for coming along today for this little chat.
Thank you, Tanya, and to you and Vicky for such an amazing initiative that I'm sure the world can't wait to be part of.
Thank you.